JD Riggs here with Bluegrass Media Solutions and my associate, Justin Watkins with ATD Lawn Care. Justin.
Lawn Service, LLC. JD already messed up.
Sorry.
Hi, JD.
How you doing, Justin?
I keep it real, so it's all good.
It's good, man. Justin is one of the realest we know around here.
I don't know about that. I'm working on that.
If he thinks it, he speaks it.
Oof.
Truth.
Yeah, I try to, and I think open and honest is key.
So
and I try to, but it's hard being open and honest with myself. So
it's hard. It's very tough. Sometimes we gotta look inside, look in the mirror. So Justin, I want to talk about a few things here, and let's rewind life. Because I was thinking this the other day. How did I meet Justin Watkins? And Justin Watkins came across my desk, drawing house plans.
yes,
And that's where it started.
yes. Me and my wife already had a great house, and we were going to plan our dream home, and JD did it. And JD, his grandiose thinking is the reason why we're sitting in a podcast room. Promised me 3D plans where I could virtually see what my house was going to do. I think we got as far as a stairway and said, never mind.
Let me tell you what I remember about working with you, Justin. And I had these clients that come along because they understand how it is being in business.
That was
right?
5 years ago, by the way.
Yes. But you understood how it was in business. So what Justin would do, Justin was like a clock. He would drop changes off on Monday. And then on Friday, he would always check in.
Really?
No pressure.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I'd say no pressure.
No, you would just be like, hey, man, just checking in, see how you were. Oh, man, hey, And it
That's
was,
interesting. I didn't know that about myself because my wife would strongly disagree that I'm like a clock.
yeah, well, you were, because I remember you would drop them off and you'd always check in, and it kept us moving because we were over. That was where the growth of my company started. We started scaling, and we just didn't know it then, and we were overwhelmed. We stay overwhelmed. So we did house plans for you, and then you planted a couple trees for my dad. Or no.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, remember that? Can we talk about that?
I didn't plan them, did I?
No, you didn't. Can we talk about that? Or is that not? We shouldn't talk
I
about
can't.
that.
No, we can talk about that. I don't care.
Okay, that's fine.
Open and honest, man.
That's fine. Okay, gotcha. I mean, I got to have a safe word.
I want to be reminded of the story because I'm still not convinced. But we sprayed.
We sprayed. So, of course, Justin, he sprays my dad's yard. Of course, my dad is like the guy that whenever he walks in to do business with somebody, I know people just cringe. They're like, there's that guy, the accountability guy that holds everybody accountable to something you said 15 years ago. His way, his agenda, that's my dad. I've he's been in my whole
Now,
life.
was this mosquito control or was this this was just regular lawn care, right?
Really?
Weed control and fertilization. Yes.
I really don't remember.
I can go back and look at the books, but
That's
I
fine.
guarantee it's what it is.
So Justin sprays whatever, no big deal.
No, I don't spray whatever. See, that's where you got to back up. We
Gotcha.
sprayed herbicide that goes directly on turf, 8 to 10 inches up at to the 35 psi at 3.5 miles per hour.
Right. And how many yards at that time were you spraying?
At what time?
At the time you sprayed my dad's.
Maybe 350.
Right. So 350 yards. And my dad was the only one, right? I get a phone call. And the phone call goes like this. Where you at? Work, Dad. Well, what's up? Tree's dead. Really? Dead. What happened, Dad? That guy that sprayed my lawn killed my tree, and I'm missing a water hose.
Missing a water hose. Now, I don't put us past that on accident.
No, I understand. Of course, I was like, well, man, I was like, Dad, this guy's in business. It's not a fly-by-night. He's doing 350 lawns. Let me call him up. And Justin's words to me was, dude, I've never had that happen.
No way.
No way.
We have slightly fringed the edge of like monkey grass or ivy
Right.
going around trimming. We've even hit some bushes one time that we thought that we got a lot on. We immediately got out the water hose, which is no pun here to this story, or that's what happened.
Yeah.
But trees, negative.
So the funny part of this story is, and I probably didn't ever tell you this.
Yes, you did, and it's hilarious.
What?
The ownership of the trees.
Yes. So my dad okay, so this is what he likes. Okay, so I'm a desk guy. I've kind of turned my back on the physical labor world. I did that, but now I'm just busy doing desk stuff. So, man, I'm out of shape. Can't last long digging holes, none of that stuff. And so my dad gets in his head, hey, I'm planting trees. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let me see if I can get somebody to plant them. No. I want to have a tree planting party. You bring your kids, your brother. We're all going to get here and we're going to plant these trees. And I'm like, for real? And at first I'm like, okay, this will be an experience. So me and my brother show up. We got all the kids. We're in the front yard. It starts raining. Oh, yeah, it's raining. And here we are digging holes to plant these trees. And my dad genuinely smiled because I was sweating. He knew I hated it. And that's what he did to me as a child. Dude, I dug a footer one time for a garage, 3 foot deep, 2 foot wide with a shovel. I'm not joking. My dad would take
That's what we do for
pleasure.
That's what we did for headstones.
Really?
2 foot deep, 8 foot wide.
Wow. But he always did it. So his logic, I think, in his mind was he went through that and made him who he was. So my dad was a grave digger. So I think he dug graves by hand at one time.
Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. He used to dig cellars by hand. My brother had a guy tell him a story that my dad would wear out a grubbing hoe. I'm like, how do you wear a grubbing hoe out? I mean, I didn't even know you could do that.
Dude, that is some persistence and obsession.
Right. It's exactly what it is.
We can't even relate to anymore in this world.
No.
Because something else has caught our attention.
That's it.
Wow.
And so I brought him in, man, and I've got to talk to him. The part I hate about it is, man, like 3 or 4 years ago, he was way sharper, and he doesn't remember a lot of the details. But, I asked him, I'm like, man, how did you get, my dad, they came from a broke family, right? Nothing. Goes to the military, comes back. I'm like, dude, what drove you? What drove you to get out of bed? You know what he said? I was broke. I was hungry.
Like literally hungry.
Like literally hungry. That's what drove him to do what he done. And then I asked him, I said, did you ever wake up and think, man, I just can't do this. I'm not going to make it, right? No. He never. And so what my dad does, I watch him. So when a project arises, Justin, all he does, he obsesses about it, dude. So
yes. My father's similar.
And he speaks it constantly. So what we're going to do is this, and then he'll go through it, and then he gets done. Okay, cool. That's what we'll do. But then he speaks it again, and then he speaks it again, and then he goes home and he processes it, and then he comes back the next day, and then his speak changed. Well,
has this been over the years?
Over the years, yeah, not now. I mean, this is just how he operates. But he built that motel. Like literally, him and 3 guys built that motel next door. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he built a motel.
For how much?
He could tell you. I don't remember, but I will tell you this. This was pretty interesting. He built Garden Park Apartments, put the streets in, all that stuff, and told me he had 50-some units. And I can't remember the number, but I kind of do, but I don't. And he told me what he borrowed from the bank, and it was in the 70s. And now that number's not that high. I'm like, wow. But that number in the 70s is like $5 million today. So that shows the pressure that he would have been under.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's hard to say, well, you'd spent $70,000 on it, but put it in our realization.
Right.
Like wearing out a grubbing hoe. It's not going to happen in my lifetime.
No.
It would take me about 8 hours of that.
Yeah.
And then I'd go rent a piece of equipment.
Right. So here's a little story. You remember Jack Bo?
Yes.
Jack Bo used to work with me all the time. We would do little jobs for my dad. So we had this porch one time that we were busting it up, concrete. So I never will forget this. I take a sledgehammer. That's how Dad wanted me and Jack Bo. So me and Jack Bo just like unleash on this porch, right?
With what tools?
A sledgehammer.
Oh, okay.
To bust the slab
Gotcha.
up. It wouldn't move. So the slab was poured in like the 50s. And we just bust and bust and bust. I mean, we just hit. Nothing, dude. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, you know what, Jack Bro? He's like, well, I was like, dude, let me call the tool rental place. I call. I'm like, hey, how much for a jackhammer? He's like, I got this one. It's got the air compressor. You pull it. like $40 a day or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go get my truck, go get it, come back. We got the jackhammer dude. We're killing it. Dad comes back, freaks out. Oh my gosh, we're going to go broke on this job. We're going broke. And gets in his car and storms away. And Jack Bo looks at me and I looked at him and he was like, going broke. And I was like, but, and that's but he wanted me to go through that process.
He wanted you to put you in an uncomfortable situation where it completely mind F's you.
And that's where
where you would get out of your comfort zone constantly.
Constantly.
It's good for you.
It is.
It's good for me.
Creates growth.
I do it with my daughters, just not to an extent. And I probably couldn't even give you an example, but I will reach about 3 or 4 of those within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. So enough about the stories. So I was thinking back, and you talked to this earlier.
By the way, the trees, he planted these trees in honor of what?
He just wanted a tree planting party.
Oh.
No honor.
I thought it was like
no
bicentennial of his life or something.
No, just a tree planting party. Just a family event. We're all just having a tree planting party. So we these got a diameter of 1 to 2 inch trees. They got a big root ball. Yeah.
There's no way that we killed them, just for the record.
No, I know you didn't. So even
on a 30-mile-an-hour wind day, which we wouldn't be spraying in, we didn't kill them.
Right. So we're going to fast forward life. Trees are done. Trees are planted. We're good. Justin's doing ATD lawn service, and I'm doing house plans. I moved my office. I get a call from Justin one day. Hey, man, I need to come talk to you. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'm thinking project, another job. Great. Come by, come see me. And Justin sells me. And I'm a hard sell, negotiated and everything. And it sells me on Facebook marketing for Center Social.
Yes.
But in the meantime, I'd since went through a divorce, and when I went through my divorce, I'm watching YouTube, man. That kind of helped, pull me through a little bit of sometimes. I'm watching Gary Vee. I'm watching motivational speakers. So I'm pumped about it. So Justin's doing the same thing, right?
Yes. Feed your mind positivity wherever you can get it. There's endless ways, platforms to feed your mind with positivity.
That's it. And that's why I'm very picky about what comes in my mind now. I don't watch rated R movies.
Rated R?
No.
I don't watch really anything.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Pure Flix.
Huh?
Pure Flix.
What's that?
It's like Netflix, but it's for the Christian world.
Gotcha.
So it's got a lot of stuff. Anywho, so Justin comes in, signs me up for Center Social. We immediately hit it off again. This time we're connected now. I've done a job for him. He's killed some trees for me. Now I'm buying into what he's selling me. I sign up. He goes on. And then we start talking on the phone. And, I'm pumped up. I'm listening to podcasts. And I remember where I was at. I'm in my house. I call him up and I'm like, Justin. He's like, yeah. I was like, we need to do a podcast. And he's like, oh, man. And so we're both like super excited. And then because he's working for Center Social, he's kind of like, well, man, I got to talk to Brittany about this and, let her. And I'm like, look, dude, that was that moment. I'm like, I'm doing a podcast. And then because Justin's very ethical and I understood exactly where he was standing. And he's like, I'm in, dude. I'm in. And I remember how you said, I'm in, dude. I'm in. But then he did go back to Brittany because then, again, we're shooting from the hip, right? We're going to start a podcast.
Yeah, we have zero equipment.
Nothing.
We might have a tripod.
Yeah.
Like with that no camera.
One. Yeah, we had that old junky
We
one.
just had a tripod.
Yeah, we had a tripod. And so Brittany agrees to let us use a camera.
Whatever we needed. But we had to do it at
like
5:30 in the
morning.
Yeah.
And so we did, man. And we just did it. And it was fine. And then we lost momentum. It was because now we got files. Well, what do we do with files, right?
Yeah.
Where do we go? How do we use them?
Not only that, man, just the topics in general. Like, I know that, like, we've started off the cuff right here, and it's just flowed. But just the topics in general, and I'm not an organized guy. I do fly off the hip a lot, especially when I talk, because I catch somebody's conversation, and then I can roll with it. I catch stuff in my own conversation, especially at board meetings at ATD, and I roll with it. But just coming up with topics, we wouldn't even, like, we would just talk about whatever's going on in our life, or I think around the time it had something to do with gun control locally.
Maybe.
And a lot of those local things that were going on, which, now would be interesting as well.
Right.
But yeah, we just kind of put a little microphone that's supposed to clip on your shirt in front of us. We got it as a bar there or the front desk.
Remember the camera kept dying, and then we had phones. But the thing that Justin did, and I remember you reminded me too. So Justin went out and got us interviews, man. We had your brother-in-law from Amazon or UPS or wherever he was. We also did
Amazon Air, and now he's at Pink Lily. So Pink Lily is a boutique that started at somebody's garage. You talking about getting somebody here, dude?
Right, that would be awesome.
She went from starting out of her own garage, a boutique. Now she's doing. Can you believe that, Sean? How rude! I mean, just
I know, right?
Happens a lot. Turn it on the moon, man.
I did. Or I don't know how to do it. I just
grow a set of you know what's and put it on the moon. Scroll down. Go like this. Swipe down. Just swipe down at from the top. From the top.
What?
Look, he's checking messages still. He can't do it. He don't have the you know what's.
All right, hold on. Oh, this one right here.
Do it again. On the right side though. Hit it on the moon. The moon.
Okay.
You know what that does?
I got it now.
People go straight to voicemail. The only time that they can get through is if they call 3 times in a row, and it happened to me recently when the building caught fire.
Gotcha.
So you tell whoever, you can even, smartphones are out of this world, dude. People don't even know, but I mean, a lot of people know. Sean probably knows. But we're not even using close to what they.
No.
You can set people to where they can get through if the moon's on, but everybody else goes straight to voicemail.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So
it's only like 5, the moon.
No.
Oh.
Red Lily?
Pink Lily.
Pink Lily.
So she started out of a garage, and I don't know a lot of the story. Anyway, like $7 million a year now in sales.
Wow.
Like big warehouses. So he left Amazon, and he is the warehouse. Like they went from a little small warehouse to a big.
He's the main guy.
He's the main guy.
Wow.
So
Cincinnati area?
No, he's in Bowling Green now. He was at Cincinnati, opening an Amazon Air up there at Hebron, and now he's at. So yeah.
And we did West Bradley.
West Bradley when the small part, West Bradley superintendent in Essex County Schools, when it was, and when he about 2 years in, maybe 1 year in of superintendent, starting to create some change. Talk about test scores don't matter. You had it's now they're insane on him.
Yeah,
insane.
They're on him like a madhouse.
Yeah, and dude, I've spent a lot of time with him recently. We play pickleball 3 days a week.
How's he handle the stress?
It's quiet in his mind. You know why? He has purpose and vision, and nothing else matters.
That's it. Obsession.
Obsession. He is obsessed.
Right.
That's all he can talk about. It's hilarious. I tease him. I'm the good yin to his yang.
Yeah.
There's a couple of us in a group that are more yang than yin. And I'm not going to talk about a friend at a site, but he'll come in here and tell you. Yeah. Like, I make sure to give him different form of poop.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Because it's purpose and vision.
That's it.
And I would have him at the lead of whatever this community changes to. People really need to understand, and they don't. They don't want to listen. That's the problem. Nobody wants to listen.
Gotcha.
They want to hear it and be heard, but they don't want to listen.
That's it. People wait to speak. It's a personality trait. So on the Pink Lily, let me tell you a quick little one. Had a guy comes in, sits down. I'm trying to sell him on the podcast because I got a company. And he says, let me tell you about my son. I'm like, cool, man. What's up? His wife, graphic designer. I don't even know what his son does. I'm like, yeah. He's like, Letters from Abroad or something, some catchy little name. I'm like, what's that? So what it is, you sign up for it every month. And I'm going to throw numbers at you. All right, so you sign up, and she does this storyline of a traveler, and it's one page, and it's a letter. And she does graphics and, like, colors it up nice and neat, and it looks cool, and it writes a little story.
Of a spot that she has visited?
It's just all made up, right? Through research on the internet and stuff. So it's like a storyline.
So
right?
she's just taking some stories.
It's a newsletter, but it's very pretty and quaint. I went to their website. I'm like, cool, man, cool. He said, yeah, for like $4.95 a month, you get one a month. So a lot of families are like doing it for nursing homes. It's like personally addressed to the person. You know, they open it up. Hey, how you doing? And they just go through the story. I just traveled here and all this stuff. How many customers do you think they got? Working out of their house. 20,000 customers, dude.
20,000 times 5. What is that, Sean?
It's $100K, dude.
100K just doing that
A
in
month.
sales. A month.
A month, dude. I about come off my chair.
And it probably takes her how long, you think?
Oh, it's a full time. It's him. He's quit his job. It's 2 of them, and now then they have like multiple part timers that come in. They help them to get shipped out. So
I've always said that, like, I haven't even touched anything that got even close.
Right.
To what? Because my purpose and vision, people don't even see it.
That's it.
They don't see it. Just like there's not a better person to be in the head of the change that this educational in this community should be than Wes.
Gotcha.
There's nobody even close, right? Because of purpose and vision and everything, he feeds his mind on a daily basis.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to share anymore.
No, that's fine.
But with myself, it's the same. And you know what? And I've noticed this too. The people that are more misunderstood are the ones that are more correct.
Very possible.
No,
I
it's
see
true.
what you're saying. No,
Because
that makes sense.
when you're misunderstood, that guy's crazy. Why is he doing stuff? Watch out, because it's quiet around him.
Right.
And he has a purpose and vision, and nothing's gonna fray that from one way or the other.
Right.
And that's where I'm at sitting today. Now, I couldn't tell you that a year ago or 6 months ago or even 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you that clearly, but now it's clear to me.
So that brings up something that came on my heart a while back, and it's been on it for a while. And it's been happening a lot. I've been talking to, having conversations about it. And so this is something I've observed, and I'm actually looking into this scripturally to understand it. So, you know, especially because I listen to a lot of the YouTube stuff. So you would have these guys that would say, look, if you do A, B, and C, the result would be D. So let's say, hey, man, you know, I'm going to give you a play-by-play on how to start a lawn care business, right?
Yes.
And if you buy these mowers, get this amount of yards, and charge these things, you'll get this result. Mm-hmm. So I fell to that, but I'm not now.
You failed at what?
I fell
yes.
victim to
Me too.
To that mentality that I was like, man, if I just do these things here, I'll get the same result as that guy.
That's right.
But there's something that's missing, okay? But my missing is going to be a little different than your missing, and I'm going to tell you what it is. And it's everything that we do, and it's our motive. So if our motive is greed, our motive is money,
purpose and vision.
That's it.
Is motive.
Okay, yeah. So our motive, if your motive is pure in intention, right?
Your purpose
Right.
is motive.
That's it.
That's what I was saying.
But
Go ahead.
So the thing is in recent, I've had some conversations with people. And,
how many times has your motive changed over the last 3 months?
It really don't change much.
6 months.
My motive is Jesus. So everything I do is for Jesus. And that's like truth.
Okay.
Like 100%.
I don't want anything but the truth. I'm
That's
just
it.
asking.
No,
Just
that's it.
Okay, go ahead.
But rewind me 2 years.
You were doing ABC because you fell for this. And not only do you fall for that, millions and millions of people fall for that. And they get in this loop of watching Grant Cardone say, do this, this, and this.
Yes.
Dave Ramsey, do this, and this. And that's two polar opposites that I just talked about.
Yes.
Do this, and this. And they'll either do 2 out of the 3, 1 out of the 3, start, stop, or do all 3 and still be lost and looking for something else to follow another A, B, and C. I was there.
Right.
I'm not today.
And I'm not either.
Good.
So
we didn't need this room a year ago.
No.
2 years ago.
We did not.
No.
We was not ready. Because guess what it is?
no.
You ready? It's on God's time.
Yes.
But this is the thing. So you can pitch an idea at me and you can say, hey, JD, man, I'm going to do this. And I can look at that idea and say, that'll never work, dude. That you can't do that, dude. That's not going to work, right?
I've never pitched an idea to you as you said that to me.
Because I don't have that mindset. But some people do.
What do you mean? You just said that if somebody gives you an idea that you tell them that it never worked.
I'm using this as an analogy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm just saying you never said that
right.
to me.
So when you have the purpose, okay, in the drive, in the passion, you're in control of that.
Yes.
I mean, God's in control, but you're in control. You can make it happen. So great analogy I had in here the other day. I looked at this water bottle, and I could have 3 people right here, and I could simply say, Justin, go out and make me $1,000 with that water bottle. And most people are going to say,
I just looked at water bottle up and down like it was a stag.
Right. Because the average mind is going to say,
no way.
No way. But guess what? With the right purpose and drive, I could make.
I don't know how you're turning that into Jesus, but with my purpose and vision right now,
yes,
somehow I feel like I can bring together community of men, which turns into a larger community of greater people, and flip the good on that and make $1,000 as well as a byproduct.
That's awesome.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So what my purpose and vision right now is, if I create humble, kind, empathetic, grateful young men as I sell that water bottle for $1,000,
you got an army.
I don't want an army. I just know I can do it.
Yes.
Because that's my purpose and vision.
That's it.
And somehow, I still like the $1,000.
Yeah. We need money.
You know why?
Why?
Because money is a map to what my purpose and vision is.
To me, it's a tool.
And you know, my wife would probably listen to this and cringe. You know why? Because it's about family but what my daughter witnessed last night with the Christmas parade,
she's seen her dad.
is well beyond these stripes on this yard behind me.
Right.
I do have stripes on the yard behind me, right, Sean? Please excuse the first podcast. So people see a beautiful yard. I don't. People see paychecks in these guys' pockets. I don't. Now, when I've changed the game is when a paycheck is not seen by the guys.
Right. That's it.
And only very few have done that this much.
Yes.
Including myself. Because I got to have paycheck.
You got to.
But it shouldn't be a paycheck. I should be doing it for free. But it's a map of my life to make it my purpose and vision happen. Our purpose and vision happen.
Gotcha. We were talking about Grant Cardone earlier. Grant Cardone, right? Something. So it pops in my videos sometimes, and I watch them, dude. And I thought, you know what? Let's do this because the water.
I'm getting tired of the Facebook ads. Honestly, Grant Cardone, if you're listening, you can roast me if you want to because my purpose and vision is bigger than yours. Yeah. Stop it.
He's a high pressure salesman.
Stop it.
High pressure salesman. But
you walking off a plane that ain't even flying. Jump out of that plane. Show me that one.
Yeah, right. But let me tell you what he does. So he's got some.
You know what? I want to hear his purpose and vision. I want to see.
Money is his, dude. That's it.
It can't be.
Maybe not, but that's what it sounds
He's misunderstood.
Like.
So is he right?
Maybe.
I'm misunderstanding him right now.
I am too. But this is what he does. He sits down an apprentice.
And you're in my Audible, by the way. You're in my Audible library. I've listened to you.
Yeah, you're right. I've listened to him too. But he hands him a water bottle.
He says this?
And he says...
Or you just going back to yours? You ripped this off from him?
Actually, I didn't, but I just put it together.
Oh, go ahead.
So maybe he planted the seed in my head. But
okay,
this is what he looks at him. He says, all right, you want a job? They're like, yes. Sell me that water. You got 30 seconds.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Sell me that water.
I just seen a post today. It was a Wolf on Wall Street. He said, it was a picture of him back in the day looking sharp in a suit. And he said, sell me this suit.
So sell me the water, Justin.
Me?
Right now.
You want some water?
Not thirsty.
He cleans up.
Not in a cleaning mood.
I'll just take it. Because I know plenty of other people that could need it, want it, thirst for it, enjoy it, have it rest in their mouth and understand the quench that it gives you. It's okay. How's your day going?
So the water's not for sale now.
Well, not if you don't want it. No, I'm not going to say you something that you don't want nor need.
And that's the whole thing. So that's what
JD,
he
do
does.
you need water?
I need water.
You can have it.
Thank you.
I have more at the shop if you ever need any more.
Hey, maybe Grant will see this and he'll offer you a job.
I don't want a job with him.
You wouldn't work
unless
with him.
I clearly understood his vision and purpose.
Yeah.
And it had similar meaning to mine. I'm telling you. I've been offered jobs since I started this culture stuff. I have to see it, man. If I don't see it, it's over. I can't do it. Plus, I got a lot of free time.
That's good.
Worries my wife to death, but I got a lot of free time.
Right. And you have positioned yourself for that free time.
Yes, accidentally, honestly.
Yeah, that's good.
Accidentally.
So that's a good statement you made.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. God created that.
He did. You're right.
By 2 back surgeries and giving me the vision and understanding of creating a culture that is bigger than mowing grass or landscaping, digging holes, providing services. It's bigger than all that. And God has created that because
That's
there's
awesome.
no way I could have done it.
That's awesome.
There's no way I could have done it.
You created it. I remember when you
No.
God
I know what you're saying.
created it. You put it in a place. You came in and you were talking about core values and culture, and I'm just looking at you like, what are you even talking about? Because I didn't even get it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm getting it.
Everybody has core values. They just haven't tapped into them yet.
Right.
I mean, you act a certain way in public, you have a core value to you.
Right.
Right.
That's it.
I mean, it's not rocket science.
It's not.
I'm still disappointed 2 years later you don't have core values or a mission statement.
I know, man. They actually came to me the other day. I was thinking about
You think you're
that.
doing good now, you catapult that and you see what happens.
I will.
I'm serious.
I need them.
You need a flywheel.
Yes. But my values, so here's the thing, man. So used to.
Do you know
Excuse me.
where some of these seeds came from?
Where?
The flywheel, 100%, a book was placed in front of me by Wes Bradley.
Gotcha. The flywheel.
Turning the Flywheel by Jim Collins.
Gotcha.
Excellent. It's how big companies had certain things that they do within their flywheel. You've seen my flywheel. Yeah. Hey, Sean, pull it up in the back here. But no, seriously, you know.
Well, same topic, but different perspective. So the old me, right? The pre-saved JD Riggs. And I could get in front of anybody and have a conversation. If I was in public, I behaved, right? I behaved. Didn't say a lot of bad words and whatever.
Maybe.
But hey, when I was with the guys,
Mm-hmm.
I talked about whatever. I cussed.
You know, I'm working on where you're going right now.
Yes.
I'm working on that as a person.
But check it out. So now, the guy that's on here right now is the same one that's at home by himself. I am who I am. You know, the Lord has changed my heart and my motive in life to where, yeah, I don't have that, okay, well, I'm around old people, which is, you know, I mean, I'm not going to talk this away, but now I'm around my friends, I can talk this away, or if I'm by myself, I've got my
I don't
filters
see
off, and what I'm basically is, like Gary Vee, what's he say? You know, he cusses all the time, and he's like, that's just who I am, that's how I am, blah, 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 blah. My school kid, my kids' teacher's like, why you cuss so much? Don't say it in front of them. He's like, if that's all my kids here, whatever, that's how I am. If it pops in my mind, I say it. I can respect that. I mean, you know what I mean? He's being true who he is. But for me,
that's not JD.
that's not me.
That's good.
And that's a hard thing.
How do you hold yourself accountable for that?
What do you mean?
How do you hold yourself accountable for you're talking about not being fragmented as a person? Fragmented as a person means you're JD at work, then you're JD at home, then you're JD to your kids.
Right.
You know. So how do you hold yourself accountable?
I don't. because I fall and fail every day.
I know that, but
You know what I mean? No, for real. Like that's how I see it. So I don't identify as say a failure or say I did something. I mean, whatever. Like if whatever I do, my struggles, I do got a few. You know, if I do it, like I don't let it define me and ruin my life. Like I'm like, all right, man, get back up, dust off, and move forward.
mm-hmm.
And so that's now I'd say if I just started going into a spiral of something I shouldn't be doing or whatever, and just constantly falling and failing, then I'd probably have to have some kind of accountability. But for the most part, through Jesus, yeah, I fall and fail. I constantly do, but I just dust off and pick it back up and keep moving forward. And that's it. So I guess Jesus holds me accountable.
Okay,
that's my accountability.
Yeah, you're allowed to say that because that's your accountability.
Yeah, I don't want to disappoint him.
You said your motive is Jesus, and I was going to break that down more, but I kind of know you go through the Bible, read the parables, understand who Jesus was. You know, for Easter last year, I believe it was around Easter time.
Right.
We broke down the characteristics of Jesus. That was our board meeting.
Okay.
And it was pretty powerful.
I bet it was.
For people that were not religious, or maybe it wasn't in a home at all or anything, and for myself. And all I did was Google characteristics of Jesus.
Yes.
And kind of relate them to what we do in everyday life.
Yes.
Leadership, communication, things like that, and gave instances of what he did. And it was nice.
Right.
A lot of good feedback. We also did, this is awful maybe to relate to, at our old shop, we had a squirrel every day, grinding every single day across this one power line, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We called him our mascot. Never named him. It was just our mascot at the old shop. So one day, I broke down characteristics of a squirrel.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So, yes, there's your accountability.
That's
because through his leadership, what did he do as a leader? Well, then you list those. I want to be like that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And people that are, Gary V's great. And I'm listening to his new book, 12 and a half. I waited for it. I put it in my waiting list. November 30th, it came out, dude. I started press play right away.
Gotcha.
Right? Very simplistic. What? Simplistic?
Simplistic, yeah.
And it's a great reminder of some of the values he has. 12 and a half, his half is what he's currently working on. The other 12 is what he thinks that has to go in your business to be successful. And it has zero to do about money.
Does he have anything in there about God?
No. Never heard him speak on it.
I haven't either.
I know.
So one of the things we were talking about parables, let me tell you a little thing I did.
Well, what I was going to,
sorry, go
real
ahead.
quick,
Yes.
is that people fail to follow who they should. Your eyes, Jesus. Mine is a lot of different people that remind me of Jesus or do Jesus ways. But also Gary V, people like that understand that people drive your business. That's the people I like to follow, the positive.
Your customers,
yes. Yeah. Well, no, not the customers.
Oh, you're talking about inside.
Inside.
Not outside.
Yeah, HR driven. And you got to be careful who you follow is all I'm saying, because break down the characteristics of Jesus, maybe follow what he did if you get confused.
That's it.
All right, go ahead.
Let me think. How old's your daughter?
4 and 1.
4 and 1.
1 and a half.
That's right. You're 2. I forgot.
So that's bad, ain't it? But it's about around that timeline, 2 years. Yeah.
So, all right. So my kids, 6, 9, and 10. Right. So now you're going to see, my son's bucking now. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, dude. It's hard. So I don't know why it came to me, right? And what time is it?
That wasn't a time. It was a message. It's 2021. I can do a lot of things on a watch.
I got you.
Besides check my time.
So anyways, parables, right? So, with him, man, we all have these triggers and emotional things in our life, especially when you go through stuff with people, especially with our kids. Your kids are right there through everything you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you realize you're affecting them directly or indirectly or not, divorce, whatever. So my son, I have a hard time communicating, So One day, I actually made a video on it. I don't post a lot of videos, but I made a video on it. It was pretty cool. So he gets in my car, dude. Sister looks at him. He just clocks out. He's just like, ah. And I'm like, I'm ready to do the same. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, here we go. And then all of a sudden this peace comes over me. We're on our way back from Willisburg. And I'm like, can I tell you a story, buddy? Or something to that extent? And he's like, yeah, Dad, what's up? I said, all right, man, so check this out. I was like, if I walked in my office and sat down and made a face at Jeremy and he just went flipped out and started cussing me and jumping up and screaming and all this stuff, I was like, how do you think everybody else or my customers or somebody, if they witnessed that, what would that be like? Well, that wouldn't be good, Dad. I said, it wouldn't, would it? And he's like, no. I said, check this out. You know, if I had to get a job or something, he's like, yeah. I was like, so if I went to a job interview, sit down, guys interview me, JD, how would you benefit my company? And I'm like, look, sir, I'm a good people person. I work hard. I make sacrifices. I want to be the best employee I can be for whoever I work for. I said, then the secretary comes in and she makes a face at me and I just freak out, smack the table, start screaming. I'm like, what do you think that guy's going to think about me? I said, do you think I would get that job? He's like, no, I don't think you'd get that job at all or whatever, It's been a minute, so I can't remember exactly how it went. And then, I finished it up, and then he thinks about it, right? And so he's putting it together, right? Instead of saying, quit screaming at your sister or whatever, he puts that together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But the bad part about it is a lot of adults still have those things. I still have them. I have triggers from my marriage going through the divorce. There's things I still have I'm triggered from. You know what I mean? But that was, I wasn't trying to speak in a parable when I did that, but I just basically gave him an example, right? And wasn't saying, hey, this is you, this is what you're doing. I just gave him an example of the situation at hand, and it was like I seen a light bulb go off,
Yes. I was looking up kind candor, which is his half that he was talking about, and it's kind of that.
Kind candor?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And then we're hoping that you can get a couple of your guys on to host a corporate podcast, so to speak.
Don't ever call me corporate.
Corporate.
No.
Corporate. As a company. A company. Because you are a company, legally.
We are a company. Yes. But we're not corporate.
But you're also a family. You're a team.
Man, we're a lot of things. Yeah. You can't even label us, seriously.
Really?
I tell you what, last night at the Christmas parade, we were built for that.
That's awesome.
That was our deal. It was about 1,000 times better than we thought it would be. We kind of put we work, so 2 hours to go, and we put a float together. We knew that we had the box truck and the mowers with the lights, battery operated lights, and certain people. The best part, the hands down best part about the Christmas parade, besides my daughter, of course, the best part about the Christmas parade is that I sent out a snap for volunteers.
Yeah.
And everybody signed up except for one.
Really?
Yeah. And that one was mandatory, and he got a lesson. He didn't come, refused to come, but he got a lesson. He was a co-op student.
Really?
So I made 2 salary guys and him the only mandatory one. Everybody else is volunteer. And everybody didn't flinch. We're in.
That's awesome.
That's the most important part about the Christmas parade or any event we do. And my ops manager is key, Clayton. He's key to what we do culturally. He was a shy, I don't know, not real confident, whether it's a public setting or on the mower or anything. But he knows now that with good intent, everything's going to be okay.
That's awesome.
So I asked him the other day, hey, can you run it, Teresa, which is our administrator, which could be a secretary or whatever you want to call it. I'm cutting in and out for some reason, Sean. I don't know if you hear it.
Yeah, I thought mine was a while ago.
But it's all good. Maybe I'm kicking something. But I said, can you take the Christmas tree to the Go Center? Yeah, no problem. and I seen him and the other salary guy, which I'll call him assistant to the ops, which is an office pun.
Yeah.
They don't even know. They've never seen it, but it's hilarious to me.
Right.
And I see them carrying this decorated Christmas tree. Like, they both have a hold of it because you donate them to the Go Center, people auction them, and then the money goes to the Guthrie Opportunity Center. You can decorate them how you want, and then the person gets the tree, and then they can give it to a family in need or whatever. That's next week, by the way. Maybe starting this weekend. But anyway, I look over, and they're carrying this Christmas tree up on this box truck, and I thought to myself, just like, how far they've come. Because their intent has nothing to do about their paycheck. It ain't my job. It's all come completely full circle with our culture. It's unbelievable. Like every day I catch something, I'm like, man, I can't believe that. Like they don't. It's not second guess what I'm doing. They second guess themselves, which is more important.
Right.
Like when they go to do something, like, oh, is that good intent, or should I be doing that? Is that good for my team? Is that good for myself? I shouldn't be speaking that way. I shouldn't be looking at that girl that way.
That's awesome, dude.
You know what I mean? And that those small steps is where it starts with. I mean, I do it on a daily basis, so I'm just teaching them how I deal with it.
Right.
And I think the humbling part is like, y'all, I'm right here with y'all, and you'll forever be fighting that battle, in my opinion.
Always.
Yeah. So the quicker they understand that, and the quicker that it does not matter what other people think of you.
Oh, that's a whole catch. Right?
And I still fight it, right? Everything I'm listing right here and everything that we list on our culture, I still fight it. But I'm telling you, like, yeah, people say, yeah, I care what other people think about me. Yes, to a certain extent. But, like, for the young guys, it's so important with social media and everything, with Snapchat and this, that, and that they got to do a certain thing. And, man, they're starting to see it. Like, with that purpose and vision that I was talking about.
Yes.
It should be quiet around you. You don't have to hear the other stuff. You shouldn't listen to it for sure, but if you get to where you're peace and serenity, you don't have to hear none of that.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it was funny seeing them carry a tree.
That's awesome, man. You're making an impact, man, and you're making a difference. I see it.
Impact on myself.
Because here's the thing. If you're doing, how do I explain this?
And I say that very givingly, like, unselfishly, I say impact on myself. Because my purpose and vision is not myself. It is not. And I didn't start it this way. Like, ATD, it could be Justin's water bottle company. It does not matter.
Right.
I see that you took your last drink. Are you interested in more?
I do need more, actually.
Okay, great. It comes in a 30-pack and a 60-pack. We have plenty at the shop. I can call one of them ops managers, have it run it right down. How many you need?
I take 3.
All right. Three 30-packs or 3 60-packs?
I wouldn't take the 60 packs.
Yeah, that's a better
really
deal anyway.
thirsty.
Per ounce, it's hands down the best deal.
Hands down the best deal.
Grant Cardone, I got to hear your purpose and vision before you hire me, but I just sold him 3 60-packs.
And, you realize that for some freak reason, Grant Cardone hears this, and you said, there would be stipulations. I don't think I'd want to work for him or whatever you exactly said.
Mm-hmm.
That guy would be the guy. I'm going to call that guy. I bet you I could get him to get on the phone, and I
don't think so, man.
Nah, he probably would.
I would have to have a clear No, I'm saying I don't think I'd go work for. I got to have a clear understanding. I do, man. It's got to be bigger than real estate. It's got to be bigger than private jets. He says he has an addict background.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
right.
with his dad dying early, and he went into smoking weed every day and this, that, and the other. Come on, call in. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Now, you got to admit, earlier, it's pretty cool that we can actually call people.
It's unbelievable.
Yes. We are going to have to wrap up because I do got stuff to do today, but let me ask you this question. Our first handful of recordings, you remember them over there, right?
Yeah.
Sitting there, both of us, talking. The experience. It's here right now.
Oh, yeah, this is experience. There's no doubt everything that we grandiose thought about over there is here right now. It was hard to get over there. Well, it took a struggle, like get out of bed to go do that. Man, I'm hooked
dude.
now.
I remember you'd be calling me, get me up.
Yeah.
Justin was on it, dude.
You want anything from McDonald's? I'm gonna go early.
Hey, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to what your dad said about never telling, like, your mind, like, never being able, what'd you say? Did you ever say, oh, man, I don't think I'm going to make it. I can't do this. Somehow, some way, I think he was lying to you.
He might have.
He's had that mental block.
And he might have.
Because
he climbed his mountain.
He's created a callus on his mind.
Yeah.
That no doesn't exist.
Oh, dude.
So.
Yeah. You're right.
He's not lying because he's created that callus. But yeah, of course.
That's what I thought too. But I didn't.
But it's that callus, what is that, 60 years, 70 years ago?
Yeah.
That callus is so hard. He wouldn't even recognize if it hit him in the face.
No. And I remember, like, if he wanted me to do something, right? Say he wanted me to, I don't know, dude, whatever it was. No, dude, he would speak it. You know what I mean? Like, son, you're going to move in that house, and then you're going to do this. I mean, he would speak it. That's the best idea. That's the best thing for you. He would just speak it over and over and over. And there's power in what we speak. But see, I was different. I can't be controlled. I can't be manipulated. And I just do what I feel like I need to do. You know what I mean? Not that he was controlling, manipulate me, but it's just, as a dad, as a parent, because I do the same with my kids. I'm like, oh no, don't do that. So
it was his version of a parable.
Yeah.
To you, to get you to understand it.
Exactly.
And some way, you always remember that patio of him walking up saying that and then leaving.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, we're gonna go broke on this job. Over $40.
Over $40.
Yeah, $10,000 job. We're gonna go broke.
Yes. But the funny thing for me, man, this is a unique one. Money, like, to him, $3. I mean, dude, it's everything. He values that $3.
It's a measurement tool.
It is. But to me, I don't value it as $3.
No, I don't either.
I just see it as a tool that I've got to use to accomplish the things in this world that I need to do.
Map tool, we're saying the same thing.
But he did tell me one time, he said, let me give you some advice. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he said, money is a tool. And he said, it can really make your life a lot easier, but it can also bury you and make it very miserable. Didn't really catch it at first because I was young, but then I seen where, getting over your head over debt, and especially and actually the Bible, I'm not going to start pulling scriptures. A lot of people think money's evil. No, the love of money is what's evil.
Yeah.
And something I did learn in a quick Bible study, I'll throw this at you. It's actually God's money, and we're only stewards of it.
That's right. I do not follow that as well as I should.
I understand.
I don't.
So really, if it's God's money, I should probably value it more than I do.
Oh, come on.
You know what I mean? Of course. And not waste it. And because I do waste money, so I want to sit here and be
it's also God's energy that you're wasting. It's also God's air that you put in your lungs that you're wasting every time you go outside.
That's it. But anyways, we're going to wrap this up. And 11:12. It's a good number. You got any things you want to say?
No, just thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming.
Good luck with whatever you do. I don't know. He called me his associate. He also sent me a picture of JD Riggs' podcast with his big head on it. So
I'm not going to do that. I'm really not, for real.
No, dude, here's the problem. You can't compete with me. Nobody can compete with me. You know why? Because I'm rooting for you too.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, it's Gary V. No, it's not. It was just a quote on Facebook, and I'm like, that's me, because competitor in town.
I got you.
Competitor. Ran into numerous bids with each other. I went after his biggest account.
Gotcha.
Been going after it. Didn't even know it.
Right.
I was sending letters. Best gig in town. Year round, best gig. I was going after it. Why would you not go after it?
Makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And anybody that doesn't understand that, I mean, why would you not?
Right.
I think every single customer I have, somebody's trying to get them.
At some point.
They should.
Yeah.
They're great customers. If I have them, they're great customers because I just clipped the list last year.
So you got rid of customers.
Yes, fired them.
Gotcha.
And grew.
That's even better.
All right, so 2 months, probably 2 months. 2 months before I went after, legitly gave them a bid and went after this big account. 2 months before. I see him in Kroger. I said, man, I saw that Facebook post you talking about, you know, you were thankful for everybody you had in your life, that some big news happened if you stay your course, this and another. I said, what was you talking about? He said, man, I paid off my bar. I mean, dude, I literally got it now. Cold chills on my arms for this man, that he paid off. That's something awesome. That he spent. I was rooting for him.
Right.
That's when it hit me. Like that rooting quote. Yeah. That's when it hit me.
I got you.
I said, dude, I'm so happy for you. Hell yes, dude. Gave him dabs, this, that, and the other, hugged him. But am I going after his biggest account? Yes.
Right.
Every time.
Because it's business.
Yes. But I'm rooting for him to win.
Right. And if he gets it over you, good job, dude.
Good job. Yeah. I'm not dogging him behind his back.
Right.
I just know I can do better. I'm still rooting for you to win.
I understand.
And the fact that people don't separate that wears me out.
I understand.
I am rooting for my guy. Look, another competitor has them sign a non-compete when they sign up. Guys that are getting paid $12 to $18 an hour has them sign a non-compete. You can't go be your own business owner within this amount of. Are you crazy? I will come here. I'll show you how to do it.
Right.
Got a boy right now. Told him I told him a month in. You can do this on your own. What? He didn't even know it. Didn't even hit him. So you can do this on your own. Really? I have one-on-ones. Okay. Can we talk about that? Yeah, let's do it. Let's set up a time. So we set up a time, and I told him exactly what he needs to do.
Really?
Yes.
For you.
And he's still working for me today. Next year, I'm going to try to keep him. Will I break down the math and say, this is why you can't do it on your own because I'm already paying you this? Yes, I will. I'll show him the numbers. Like, you're going to go out here and buy a $10,000 machine, and you'll be broke for 2 years. But here, I'm going to pay you $40,000 to do it.
Right.
At 19.
At 19, that's even yeah.
So this is my point. You can't compete with me because I'm rooting for you to win too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And let me throw a little one out here too, because I like that. You can't compete with me because I'm rooting for you to win. And this one here is another one that came on my heart. There is freedom in forgiveness.
Yeah.
And remember that.
Yeah.
Freedom and forgiveness.
Yes. Because the crazy thing is, when I forgave all that, when I forgave myself, what else less is there to forgive? Who do I need to, like, you don't have to ask permission for forgiving me. I've already forgave you because I forgave myself.
Yes.
That's where I stand today right now.
That's it.
You don't have to ask me, Justin, you know what, I'm sorry. I've already forgave myself.
That's it.
You don't have to say you're sorry to me. Who am I?
Right.
Yeah.
Good
That's
deal.
where I stand, man.
Over and out, brother.
See ya. Thank you.